Greetings, Hope Church. Back by popular demand, this is the second edition of Deacons Discourse. But first, some Hope news. What's that?
Hi, Dan. I'm sorry to interrupt so quickly, but we do have a higher profile this week, and your first statement has already triggered a fake news fact-check alert. Basically, we have a viewer named Marv Von Wick, and he's calling hogwash. Hogwash? Marv, I know it's a pandemic, but dude, you've got to get out more. He's calling hogwash on there being any popular demand by any of Hope congregants for this video. Can you respond?
Well, Pastor Raj is a popular guy, and he demanded we do better this week.
Fair enough. We'll call that mostly true hogwash. You may continue.
It's Casual Friday here at the office, so I hope you're able to take a few minutes, sit back, and relax with us. Here are this week's headlines. Now what?
Sorry, Dan, another alert. And I will quote, Barbara Brown Taylor puts it this way, if that's an office, then Jim Hoffman is a lefty-leaning liberal. I'm sorry, that can't be Barbara Brown Taylor, and it's not. That is gentle Jeff Carpenter. Also, Jeff says that News and Notes comes out on Wednesdays, not Fridays.
We're fact-checking fake news to make sure it's not fake news? Is this really our reality?
Sorry, Dan, me again. I'm reading this one verbatim. A viewer named Aaron Retman states, what is reality? What is the relationship between the mind and reality, which is actually realism, or as Plato puts it, the visible world of particular things, a shifting exhibition like shadows cast on a wall by the activities of their corresponding universal ideas or forms. Are you still with me? And then a strange-looking word, pragataka.
That's Greek to me. Can we just turn off the comments section on this feed?
That's affirmative, Dan. We can do that. And we're good.
And now back to this week's headlines. We here at Hope News have been overwhelmed with how well our first video was received. In fact, we've been receiving bins and bins of these full of fan mail. In fact, let me read you one of our favorites so far. This one from Emily Bremersky. This New Hope News segment has changed my life. For about 5 to 7 minutes, I can have some peace and quiet. Is there any way you could do more, like 15 to 20 of these per day? Well, Emily, I appreciate the support, but I don't think the budget has enough room in it for production of that quantity. Godspeed on the home front. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to read the countless letters that we've received in the mail. I wish I could. Mark, do we have time for one more? Good. Yes. Yeah, we have room for one more. Let me read one more here. Yeah, this one from my buddy Steve Evenhouse. Haven't heard from him in weeks. Oh, yeah, we can't say that on air. Can't please everyone these days, right? We wanted to take a moment to address another complaint that we've received over this last week, that Hope News wasn't a real news show because we lacked sports, weather, local stories that matter to you. Well, news show enthusiasts, eat your heart out. Let's now go live to Dave for today's sports update.
Thanks, Dan. With sporting events across the country being canceled, people are turning to alternative sources to fill the void. People like me. Dave, a deacon at Hope CRC and a sports fan, has spent his extra time at home rediscovering where his love of sports began, by shooting baskets on a tiny child's hoop. It all started when I was down here playing with my kids and just thinking about how much I missed watching sports. And then it hit me. My son threw a basketball and it hit me in the face. Since then, Dave has been using his face to line up his basketball shots. His goal is to make 20 straight baskets from behind the toy spatula on the floor of his basement. Right now, the most I've made is 12 in a row, but I just go out there every day, try to get a little better, and take it one shot at a time. Do you think you can get to 20? I think I can make 20 in a row. I really do. Since recording the interview, Dave told me he's made 14 shots in a row now, but that his streak was ended when his son threw Legos at his face. Back to you, Dan.
Thank you, Dave. That was one of the most inspiring sports editorials I have ever seen. You are an American hero. Now for the weather. Rita, I think we are all ready for a little preview of what summer weather is going to look like. What can you tell us?
Still 67 degrees in my living room, Dan. Expected to drop to 65 this evening as a programmable front moves in. For tomorrow, I'm again expecting 67 degrees in my living room, with possibly lower temperatures in the basement.
Thank you, Rita. It doesn't look like any one of us are going to be using our vacation mode anytime soon. And now let's check in with our COVID correspondent, Mary Beth. Mary Beth, please share with us any insight you've been able to track down this week.
This stinks.
Thank you, Mary Beth. We look forward to next week's report. But there was one overwhelming request this week. Everyone mentioned how much they loved hearing Raj, but they would love even more if they could see Raj. Well, your requests were heard loud and clear. Raj Nelson, thanks for being on the show. Good to see you.
DQ, how are you, brother?
Doing really well. This is a real treat, not only for me, but I think the rest of Hope Church to see your face.
Oh yeah. Like ice cream on a hot summer day.
Yeah. So
I jest.
in true weekly fashion, I'm just gonna let this sit here for 25 minutes while we sit and stare at your face.
Okay.
So
and I will nervously run my my hair through my hand through my hair.
Yeah. And it might be appropriate to say let's take a look at it this way, and then we'll change camera angles or something.
I miss people. I miss children. Yesterday, so I come in and I work here every Monday through Friday. And yesterday I spent some time drawing a cartoon of myself that we mailed today to all kids ages, I don't know what we decided, like 4 through 11 or something like that, just to let them know that I miss seeing them, that they were loved by their family, by their church, and by Jesus. And it's a goofy little cartoon of their pastor.
So you haven't been preaching on Sundays. You have a weekend now. What are you doing with yourself?
So it's really, I like the rhythm of this, quite frankly. I work Monday through Friday. I have Saturdays and Sundays. I still do some work. I still try to call people, check in, answer emails. While people have been listening on Sunday mornings, I've been running in Chicago downtown. I park at Daystar and I run through the city streets. It's mostly just homeless guys and runners through empty streets. That's what I've been doing on Sunday mornings. Yeah. It's a kind of prayerful meditation for me.
Raj, what is something that you maybe haven't been able to do because of your lack of a weekend in the past, but now that you have one, what are some things that you are finding yourself able to do now with all this time?
Well, that would suggest that, like, if I had a bucket list of things to do, like I was handy and I could do anything, like, tinker in the house and I'm not. So I don't know that this has changed. Like, I don't know that I've added anything through this. I've always been a reader, and I listen to stuff, and I watch stuff, and I work and I work out. I don't know that it's added anything. It it has impressed on me how the faith is designed to be lived in community and with people and embodied. That it's not just the transmission of ideas but that it's really meant. Our practices are all communal and they're all physical, and to have that taken away has been really difficult, quite frankly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all of us feel that way. We've heard the phrase over the last few weeks, church is not a place. It's an idea. It's a group of people. It's a family.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that resonates with a lot of us.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that think the church is going to, like, oh, hey, the church is going to realize they don't need buildings. I think people still want to be together someplace and see one another and eventually do the things that we do together, singing together. I'm not a hugger, but reading.
You will be after this. Raj, we've all appreciated the podcast each week over the last month or so, and we've been really fortunate to be able to still listen to you. But now that you have a captive audience and everyone's able to watch you now, I want to just give you a few minutes just to share what's on your heart and your mind.
I harbor hope and confidence that we will come through this, and on the other side of it will be a healthier, better community because of it. I think you learn through loss and through suffering, and I think we will be more sensitive and in touch with, able to identify some of those things that we've lost right now.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get through it. I think it's going to be a long haul. Someone asked me, how are you planning for when we get back together? I'm not. We're living sort of week to week, service to service. And I don't know when that will be, but I think we will be together, and we will have changed and learned and grown through all of this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Raj, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. We really appreciate the time, and it's really great to see you again, and look forward to the day where we can be together again on a Sunday. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks. God bless, Dan. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you too.
Peace.
See you, Raj. Well, that's all we have for this week's installment. Again, if your family has a need, be it spiritual, emotional, or financial, please reach out to us. We want to come alongside your family to help. Remember, even though we're still apart, we are all in this together. But before we go, I would like to officially launch the official Hope News email address. We take quite a few liberties in providing fake feedback for the Hope News segment of these videos. But for the actual Deacons Discourse, we want to hear from you. Send us a photo or a video of great things that are happening in your home. If you have a message that you'd love to share with the rest of the Hope community, please write us. It just might make the air. You can write us at hopecrcnews@gmail.com. It's at the bottom of your screen now. hopecrcnews@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in from all of us here at Hope News. Stay safe, stay healthy, and please do not ingest any household cleaning products. We'll see you next time.